Guys, welcome to another video. Today we are playing some more Plants vs. Zombies, and I am going to tell you all the characters in each team and what they do. So yeah. First up we have Pea Shooter. Pea Shooter, he does so his primary weapon is a pea cannon. And if you press R1, he will burst out a chili bean bomb. It splits an explosion bean that detonates after a delay. And it can shoot out a basically minigun. It's a turret, a high-powered turret. And with R1, it can jump higher, fire faster, and move faster. Hover in the air by holding L2. So you can, basically everything is increased if you click R1. And yeah, that's basically Pea Shooter. Next, we have the Chomper. The Chomper's primary weapon is, of course, a chomp, which is a bite. If you press L1 with this character, it'll unleash a spike weed. It will launch a snaring trap to stun enemies. Now with triangle, you can unleash something that's called burrow, yeah. Instantly vanquishes enemies by targeting them from underground. Press R2 to eat your target. Now if you press R1, it's Groody Goop. It basically stuns them and puts a toxic cloud on them, which hurts them. Next we have Colonel Corn. By the way, this is on Plants team. So its primary weapon is Cob Blasters. If you press L1, it unleashes a butter beacon, and it would butter enemies for increased damage while revealing their location. So if you put that near someone and it can reveal, you'll see where they are through any wall and anything. If you press triangle, it unleashes a husk hop, and you leap over enemies while launching a volley of explosive kernels downward. Now if you press R1, it unleashes a shuck shot. Launch 2 highly explosive cobs, so it's basically 2 rocket launchers. Next we have the Nightcap, which is personally my favorite character. The primary weapon for the Nightcap is a Spore Strike. L1 is casting shadows. Hide allies and restrict enemy movement in the Shadow Dome. Now, if you press triangle, you unleash Fung Fu, which you repeatedly strike nearby enemies for massive damage. If you press R1, it gives out a Shadow Sneak, which is, it disappears and moves swiftly. So you disappear to any enemy and you move a lot faster, is what it basically is. Next we have the Snapdragon. Now, if you press L1 with the Snapdragon's primary weapon is a flame blower. If you press L1, it unleashes a slope slam. So you fly up, then crash down to deal damage on impact. Triangle, you unleash a blue blazes. So you launch a blue fireball that follows enemies, and it does a lot of damage and kills a lot of them. If you press R1, it gives out a blazing trail, and it creates a blazing wall of fire along the straight path. So anywhere you look and you press the button, it's a big wall of fire where you ever looked straight. Alright, next character, the Cactus. The Cactus, its primary weapon is a spike strike. If you press L1, it's called a potato mine. So you plant a highly explosive mine, and if a zombie walks over it, they're probably dead, or it does just so massive amounts of damage. Now with triangle, you have a garlic drone. So control a flying garlic drone that shoots garlic. Okay, oh, that's pretty simple. R1 is a pedal propeller. A pedal propeller. To get to high ground by flying upwards. So if you press that, then you can fly upwards, basically. It doesn't last that long, but it's good. Next, we have the orange. So this, its primary weapon is a juice cannon. If you press L1, it's called an EM Peach. Shots an EM Peach that stuns nearby enemies and depletes the mech fuel. Now, if you press Y, it's a spin dash. You spin dash forward to hurt enemies and knock them back. R1 is a naval laser. It's basically a beam that grows in power and kills people. Next, we have the Acorn. Its primary weapon is a shot shell. Now, L1, if you press L1, it gives a sap trap. It launches a sticky knockback explosion, and you would press L1 to make it explode. Now, triangle, if you press triangle, it's basically it's a big oak tree. You transform into a big oak tree. So you transform into an oak, and joinable by up to 3 additional acorns. So 3 acorns can hop on your head if you turn into the tree. Press R1 is acorn dash. Quickly spin in the direction you're moving, and that's basically dodge. Next, we have the sunflower. Now, the sunflower's primary weapon is a sun pulse. L1, if you press L1, it gives out a sunny slide up. Showers healing sun drops out to help allies. Now, if you press triangle, it brings out a sunbeam. Switch to a high-powered beam turret in a rotated position. R1 is a heal beam. Heal an ally and extend their max health. And next we have the rose. The primary weapon is magic thistles. So with L1, it brings out a jinx. Curse enemies to take more damage. So you put this on an enemy and you can hit them and it'll deal more damage than normal. Now triangle is if you press triangle you become invulnerable and cast speed boosting team move speed. So if anyone's around you or you use this, you go faster and no one can hit you. So you're basically like invisible to the nightcap. Like the nightcap. Now if you press R1, it is a goatify. So it summons gigantic goat spell that turns enemies into goats. So you cast this on an enemy and they turn into a goat. And that's pretty much it for the plants. So moving on to to the next team, I guess.